Hi, this is Anthony. Welcome back to my show. As always, besides my request that you hit the subscribe button, remember I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, just some financial entertainment that I hope will prompt you to do your own research into what is appropriate for your own situation, which hopefully is a well-diversified long-term portfolio. So let's look at today's stock, Arcimoto, stock symbol FUV. This is one that I've done many videos on in the past, and it's garnered a lot of interest from my viewers. It's a company located in Eugene, Oregon, where I went to college. It's a company that makes or has made three-wheeled electric vehicles. These are barely even technically cars. They're really semi-enclosed electric tricycles, and that's fine if that's what you're buying them as. Some of them are made for recreation, and some are designed for delivering small items to customers, generally in urban settings. So there's two issues here. One, they make extremely expensive vehicles, which may or may not be all that useful or profitable for the company. Some of my viewers have written that they absolutely love these, and others have written that they've encountered a number of technical problems with the vehicles. Honestly, that's going to be true with any type of truck, car, motorcycle, or bicycle that anyone buys. There's going to be problems for some people, and other people are going to love them. The other consideration, and the one that's probably more of interest to my viewers, is whether the stock is a good investment, even as a very speculative investment. I think quite clearly, and I'm not a financial expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt, but it has been a terrible investment. They had to have a 20-for-1 reverse stock split last November just so that they could stay listed on NASDAQ. Let's look at a couple charts. If you would have put your money into the stock at the beginning of this current year, you would have lost 52.66% of your money. In the same period of time, the NASDAQ 100 ETF is up a little over 34%. If you would have bought into Arcimoto exactly 1 year ago, you'd be down 97.69%. If you would have bought into Meta Platforms, the owner of Instagram and Facebook, you'd be up a little over 40% in the past year. There's so many better options as to where you could put your investment dollars than Arcimoto. Earlier this year, they were on the brink of bankruptcy and had to idle their factory and furlough their workers. They did get an injection of funds, partly through a loan on their factory real estate. I don't know if they've resumed production. They probably have, but I don't even want to bother going through their most recent filings to check. I've done deeper dives in the past on their SEC filings, and they weren't good a few years ago. They're not going to be any better now. I've always encouraged my viewers to look at the actual financials of companies that they're interested in, not just listen to what I have to say or look at historic charts. Just a thumbnail glance will show you that they have a current market capitalization of $11.74 million. As you can see, in the 3 months that ended March 2023, they lost nearly $7 million. What about the previous quarter? In it, they lost over $15.5 million, and I'm not going to go through every quarter because they lose money every quarter. They've never made a profit or even come close to a profit. I know there's people that are still holding on to the stock, and I feel bad for them. I understand the psychology of buying a stock and it going down and you waiting for a rebound. Sometimes that happens, but when a company is on the brink of bankruptcy, a rebound in the price of the stock usually does not happen in the long run. I'm not suggesting that you sell it if you own it, because that would be giving you financial advice. But I do strongly encourage you to think about whether holding on to a company that's likely to be going to go bankrupt, in which case the stockholders will lose all of their equity, or should you perhaps decide to sell whatever you have and use those funds to invest in a company with better prospects. If you've been watching my past videos, and I encourage you to do so, I have suggested putting on your radar a number of companies that have done quite well. Again, these are not recommendations to buy. These are recommendations for you to look at and do your own research. And by the way, just for full disclosure, most or all of these stocks that I encourage you to put on your radar are ones that I currently own. And as far as the ones that I'm warning you against, perhaps against at least, I don't own any of those, and I'm not shorting any of those stocks, or any stocks at all. Certainly, if you're interested in EVs, then perhaps you should just place your money with Tesla rather than FUV or Solo. In the past 52 weeks, Tesla is down a little over 10%, but it looks like it bottomed right at the end of 2022, and year to date, it's up nearly 98%. Is it going to do that again in 6 months? Most likely not. But is it more likely than not to continue trending up over time? The answer is probably more likely than not, compared to all these penny stock EVs that suck people in, like FUV and Solo. Still interested in high tech? I've done a couple of videos on a company that I own that I'm very happy with called Symbotic Incorporated. Stock symbol SYM. In the past 52 weeks, it's up nearly 262%. Year to date, it's up 177%. They make the software and hardware for automated warehouses for companies such as Walmart. If you believe that automated warehouses and distribution centers are a component of the future of retail, and online retail in particular, then be sure to check out this company. A company that can have great price swings up and down is NVIDIA. They make chips used in Bitcoin mining, and when cryptocurrencies crashed, so did NVIDIA. As AI is taking a spotlight in the news, NVIDIA has done quite well. I would say that whatever the hot topic of the day is, as far as high tech, if you believe that high-end chips will continue to be needed into the future for something, whatever that may be, then this is probably a company that you should research. Meta Platforms is a high-tech company that makes its money through advertising. How much time are people spending on Facebook and or Instagram? Probably a lot. For Instagram Reels, TikTok is a competitor. As pushback against TikTok grows, especially as it starts getting banned in various places in the United States, that will remove some of the competition to Instagram and Facebook, which should assist them even more. Meta lost half of its value in about 3 months at the end of last year. It's more than made up for that in the first 6 months of this year. Again, a lot of what I'm suggesting you look at are recent or at all-time highs. There is always danger in buying after run-ups, but I recommend that you hold for the long term. So even if after making your own decision based on your own research, you bought in this week and then it went down, is it going to be up in 5 years? Is it going to be up in 10 years? If you think the answer is yes, then it's probably a buy. I'm going to stop here to keep this short, but my point here is there's a lot of junk stocks that people have bought into and continue to hold, while there are better quality companies and indices that have been going up since the beginning of this year. It's hard to sell losers, but generally a more profitable idea to sell your losers and put your money into something that is more likely to result in a profit in the future is a better strategy than holding on till the company goes bankrupt. To answer my original question in the title, is this going to be my last video on Arcimoto? Now, you should never say never, but I don't see much value in continuing to make videos about this company. I've made probably a dozen or more, and if people aren't convinced by those and reading the news and looking at the charts, then nothing's going to convince potential investors to avoid it or current investors to unload their shares. Okay, I'm going to wrap up now. Please do hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, even if you disagree with me, and hopefully you'll click the like button. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.